And I'm back with more Ace Attorney Justice for All. Last time, we believe we found all of the keys to separate fact from fiction, in this case, against Maya Fey. Even more damning was the fact that Eenie Miny herself basically challenged us to prove her guilty by saying, well, I'll just serve you a slice of humble pie. But we have to do all the work ourselves. So let's go. Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter's only 18, just like me? Yeah, why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's all grown up. And I'm sure it felt a lot of pressure on her from her father's reputation. And then you look at me, and I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm a suspect in a murder trial. Again! I think you're really strong too, after all you've gone through. Good morning! The two of you look like you're doing so well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother's coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Pearls. Yeah, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important. I don't feel confident without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly, not this again. Can you do this for us? Okay. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later, then. I'll leave you two for your alone time. Thank goodness. Nick? This way Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. Wait, what do you mean? What's going on? Oh, that was sick. Phoenix did it so Pearls didn't have to see anything. That was cool. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be so foolish, you foolish fool, wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I am the prodigy that hasn't lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're such high spirits today, Miss Fey. It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key's proof. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it could have been. Your Honor, I would to say one thing before we begin. Alright, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined, from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave at one point. What? But Miss Von Karma, how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant?
I never said that I was the defendant.
Then what's the meaning of this?
All I'm saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that's when she drops the key.
Can you substantiate that claim?
Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, to the stand. Just as I suspected, Aunt Morgan. She seems really torn by this. Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fey, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking.
I'm sorry, but what do you mean in a manner of speaking?
I don't think anyone really cares.
Now then,
after the murder you took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that's correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya.
Spirit severing technique?
A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world.
That's...
Oh! You! Be quiet. Now, witness, something happened while you were performing the technique, correct? Yes, that's correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape the channeling chamber.
Goddamn Morgan has so much hair. Order! Miss Fey, please testify to the court what happened during that time.
Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante in this trial. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door and opened the channeling chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze. Quite suddenly, she thrusted herself away from me and escaped the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that.
Why have you hidden this until now?
I did not wish to cause any more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's right. She's simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
My aunt's a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony.
Just now you said those two. Who are those two people you're referring to?
I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir.
Lana's not a foreigner, despite how she talks.
Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English. Not to mention she looked awful.
I can already see people in the Heartland gathering up for a riot.
In any case, I've already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright.
Thank you. Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police?
If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind.
That's a very good point.
At the time, I was a little confused. On top of which, there was another.
Another what?
Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. Let me hear the end of that sentence. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of the room, wasn't there?
You must testify.
Why'd you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and the camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself.
Well, that was very noble of you.
This is bad. No people have a good impression of her, and bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you.
Are you satisfied now?
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head. And this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. You stand by the statement. I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. What? Well, why would you lie to something like that? It's very painful for me to say this, however. The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya? So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later I was informed of what occurred. That the renegade mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. The witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what happened, there's always later.
Very well.
Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Maybe you ate too much for lunch. Now, witness, continue with what happened. Then... Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit such a thing, but yes. But you're physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There's no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Phoenix, that's kinda... That's kind of rude. Just because you're larger than somebody doesn't mean that they can't escape from you. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember, at the time, the defendant was not physically Maya Fey.
Growing old is such a mysterious thing.
Trust me, I know firsthand. Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she'd called. But if she'd run away, wouldn't you have given chase? Well, yes, I would have. However... You fainted. I became dizzy, and I collapsed on the floor.
How long were you unconscious?
I'm not sure. 10 minutes, perhaps?
The defendant almost certainly went somewhere.
Have you? Witness, elaborate on that for us. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great. Well, now what? So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went? I would think that's obvious, good sir. And that's true. Then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It is true that the witness is not able to confirm this. But the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she's another witness up her sleeve. That's what. Looks like Miss Von Karma's ready to move on.
That's enough!
From what I can tell, there's nothing wrong with this witness's testimony.
And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the channeling chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back to bite us in the butt. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask, where did this defendant go after leaving the channel chamber? Be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee has done, had she gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone. Who was it? The prosecution calls Miss Einy Miny, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Einy Miny. I think you can see where this is headed. Third and fourth statements. Okay. Witness, name and occupation. Okay. My name's Einy Miny. I'm researching parapsychology stuff and that university. What's this parapsychology? Let's see. That's I guess people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I don't say I can understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Miss Miny. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? I guess. If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it? Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of God, have some spine. When the channeling started, I was, sleeping in the side room. A little later, someone came into my room, suddenly. I was oh my god, it's totally my sister. I, hadn't seen her in, so long, so it was kinda happy in a sad way. My sister, she, told me something totally terrible. I don't even remember if I'm doing the voice the same way. Oh, wait, hold your horses. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant? Really, now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit of the witness was her sister? Yes. Mimi Miny. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Well, that witness. In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell this court what that terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear it. Do I really have to? Of course. Miss Miny, please. My sister, this is what she said. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it, Einy? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yeah. There. Are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge.
It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimony point to this as the truth. The end. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Certainly seems like all of the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it just a huge lie? Of course it was. What do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. You can do it, Phoenix. Just find that one loose thread to unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there's still room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine the witness. We believe that the cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spots more foolishly foolish trouble. I wonder what will make this more entertaining than the last. Alright, 3 and 4. Okay, so 3 and 4. Yeah. Are you absolutely sure? I guess? You guess. Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. First off, my name's not Mr. Smith and I'm an only child. But she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. The defense... That was a colossal waste of our time. Now, Sam. You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. Wouldn't most people react with surprise? Maybe if I was, like, someone who wasn't into the occult. Like, I know all about that technique. The point here being, is the witness immediately recognized as it was a sister. Yeah, like, what she said. Should I drop this? She really didn't think anything strange of this whole thing. Nah, like, there wasn't any reason for me to think anything was strange. But, don't keep badgering her! Do you know the phrase objection? Could you try it once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question if the witness felt what she saw. Is it really that important? It is very important. I gotta bluff her now, make it seem like I don't know, like I know what I'm talking about. All right, Mr. Wright, please amend your testimony. Like, I'm okay with that. I wasn't like scared at all, and her costume looked totally normal. Oh, that's totally wrong. That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Miney, or Mrs. Miney. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? It's well-constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we? Miss Miney, I might remind you what you said. You said there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Well, yeah, I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this. This is a picture of the sister you meet, or you met. I don't think anybody would be surprised if they saw this. This is a blood spray. Miss Miney, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted that right off the bat. Order! Miss Miney, what's the meaning of this?
speaking! Don't interrupt me! Ah! And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? Well, That witness, her personality did a 180. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. And if you please. Judge still looks a little shaken up. I guess he'd help it. Alright, fourth statement, 2 harder and very important. Okay. Like, the side room was, like, kinda dark, you know? So, like, the costume was purple, right? The blood would have blended right in, and I persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something, but then I took my sister back to the channeling chamber. Okay, you've given us a clear reason why you didn't notice it. Well, like, thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied? I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness. Forward statement 2, press hard. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess taking her revenge on Dr. Gray made her feel a lot better. I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says it with her whip at the ready. Like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's no good, I can't find anything. Phoenix, the judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in the statement, he'll end the trial. You gotta give it another shot. Doesn't matter how many times we listen. One, two. No, that was the fourth statement. God damn it. Okay, one of these I have to change. Okay. What was your sister, Miss Mimi, like at the time? Well, she was like totally flipped out. But I think she like knew she did something totally bad, so we wanted to speak and apologize to Miss Morgan. Did she really say that? Like, yeah. Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange or unusual or out of place? Something out of place? What do you mean? I'm talking about when you went to the channeling chamber, of course. No, nothing. She answered really quickly. Think harder! You have to know something. I totally can! That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to the court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, whether or not this is important? Or something odd about the way the channeling chamber was? I ask because it's very important. Very well. Miss Miney, if you will, please include a statement about your testimony. I don't get why, but okay. I didn't see anyone on the way to the show. Okay, I get it. You say you didn't see anybody on your way to the channeling chamber? That's impossible! What do you mean? I'd like to introduce somebody to you. This is Morgan Fay's daughter, Miss Pearl Fay. Interesting. You have a semi-intelligent look on your face. So, what about this child? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. The garden? Which would mean that anybody walking through the area would have seen her. So, Miss Miney, what were you doing? Yeah! As the court can see, she's a bit of an airhead. Also, she was leading her sister at the time. Do you honestly think she would have noticed a simple child? Preposterous. It's not preposterous, and I could prove it. What? Well, short of... There's no way someone walking the winding way couldn't have noticed Pearl. Wait, no, it's Phoenix talking, goddammit. There's no way they would have noticed. This urn is my proof. An old cracked clay pot? What is that going to prove? She broke it. She broke the urn. Ah! Why do I feel you're about to ruin my beautiful day? This urn was broken because around the time the channeling started. Ah! And Pearl was the one who put it back together. While sitting right in the middle of the winding way. Ah! Miss Miney. Pearl was there in the winding way. She was hard at work putting the pieces back together. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I resent that remark because I am, dude. I think I have sufficiently proved one thing. You're a masterful liar. Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what he's saying is the witness. So, tell us the truth. About what? About what? Where you really were at the time of the murder. The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was sleeping in the side room. Can't really believe her. Was she really sleeping in there? There's no way. Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says at the time of the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible, because there was clearly a contradiction there. A contradiction? Where is it? Earlier in your testimony, you made the following statement. And like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had to go call the police. So, what's that got to do with anything? It's very simple. How do you know that fact? How? I can see that Miss Fay was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means you did in fact go. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. Blech, look at the manor guide map. If no one was to go to the channeling, if you were to go to the channeling chamber in the side room, one would have to use the winding way. That's right. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Answer the question. Don't ask a question off a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you put it on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Einy Miney. So now's the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? Miss Miney was here, of course. Isn't that a crime scene? That's right. Miss Miney was at the scene of the crime. That's it! Mr. Phoenix Wright, if you lost your mind. Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started. That's correct. Explain yourself. It's simple. She was hiding at the crime scene. I was hiding? Oh, her face just changed. Where was I hiding? Oh, gee, I don't know. Here, of course. Behind the folding screen. Don't make me say it again. Recall yesterday's testimony. Ain't no way no one was hanging around behind the folding screen. Yeah, you stupid jerk. Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball. She's turned into Cody Hackins all of a sudden. Miss Miney, once so young, shouldn't be sick. Shut it, Gramps. As if you know how old I am. I'm sorry. Well, looks like the pipe's about to burst. I guess I should help it along. The witness is hiding behind the folding screen with the help of a box. Uh-oh. Miss Miney, how were you able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime? It's very simple. You were hiding inside the box. That tiny box? Nobody can fit in that. Sorry, but your theory's already been disproven. Lotta disproved it when she was hiding from me. But that clothing box was in the side room. Which means this has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right, I was sleeping there. I should know. That clothing box has got nothing to do. It was in the side room the whole time. Mr. Wright, do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? The clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid! As if there's any sort of evidence in that whole thing. What on earth? Ah! I don't have time for you to act surprised. Hurry up and say it already! There's a hole 8 inches off the ground. A hole 8 inches off the ground. Where have we seen that before? This is a folding screen. Is that a hole? That's right. I hope this opened your eyes to what wow, Phoenix, that was lame. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Miney, you were hiding behind the folding screen waiting for your chance. For your chance to kill him. Order! Is it Mr. Phoenix, right? What about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this picture is Miss Miney? That's exactly what I'm saying. You're hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you're a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. Stop it. I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, I have a proposition. Is this whole idea of his witness moving the clothing box to the crime scene, pretending to be the client and the defendant, killing this victim, then fleeing the scene of the crime. It's not possible for someone to do it themselves. I'm losing the accent the more I'm screaming. It really is possible. It is impossible for one person to do it. Ow! Need I remind you? The foolish receive no mercy. Wait, Miss Von Karma, you said it's not possible for one person, right? You can't be serious. Miss Miney, you had an accomplice. If it wasn't for someone in Karain Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if that someone wasn't of the Fae household, you wouldn't have had the box to use. Morgan Fae! Isn't that the wonderful lady witness? What do you have to say about this, Miss Miney? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the crime scene long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other 2, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. And then she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the box. She did so that she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Dr. Gray was not dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that's why the hole in the folding screen was so low. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray. After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room? Yes, a gunshot was something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Miney, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya. But that sort of deception would be easy to see through. Which is precisely why she chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go inform the police. Before there's more victims. What is one supposed to say? That's the real truth behind this murder. Who's that laughing? Ah, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry. Are you still, by chance, evolving? What is it this time? Miss Von Karma? Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose over something so petty? What the hell? Mr. Felix Wright, your argument is flawed in very one crucial area. And that is, if the witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would there be to do such things? Well, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, one other thing. Why would Miss Miney want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Motive? I ain't got one. A motive, huh? Can't say there's no motive here. Gotta think of one. Reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead. Just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers. You think I did it to get revenge? I do. Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid.
You want to prove that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? You want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? See now, stupid Gramps. I'm, going to explain, so listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, wanted revenge, then I wouldn't have waited this long. Besides, the guy thought the spirit thing was Dr. Gray, so it was total coincidence he asked me about it. She's back to an airhead?
Dad!
Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You failed to support your own theory. Zend.
I think we have our answer. What Miss Miney said was very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there's no reason for Morgan Fay to cooperate. You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point.
So many faults, Mr. Phoenix, right? You should really learn your place. What happened? It's just like I told you. I hope you like that slice of humble pie. What?
What the? Oh, Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute.
All right. You can't lose here. Have a little faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia, it does sound ridiculously messed up. And you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it's also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion.
Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you could prove that Miss Miney had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason?
Can I? I'm not totally confident here, but I can press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now.
I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Miney did, in fact, have a motive.
Too bad you're too late, because my cross-examines ended after all.
Ah!
Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix, right?
What? You're supposed to be on my side! Ah!
Von Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way.
Wait! Very well, the court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Wait a minute!
Oh, thank God. I did not expect this part to be so long. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh God, I shall save. And we'll end this trial next time. Thanks for watching.